Hello. There we go. We are now able to be seen. We just did an
Hey.
hour-long sound check, which was very helpful, and hopefully we are sounding much more even.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Um. Let me know if you aren't. I should probably bring up chat so that I can see it. That's a good idea. Chat should be somewhere visible for me, and then I can be
You
a good.
just flash the Discord across the screen for half a second.
I know because I was opening up chat and it was full screen. Now Zen's camera's blocked for a sec. Okay, we're good now. I can now see chat, and it's out of the way, but on the same monitor as the cameras. So, what happened? Yeah, what happened last time in Blades in the Dark?
Well, last time
We
Blades
had
in
a
the
garden
Dark,
party. It was great.
we got dressed up. We got into the garden party, and now we're exploring the garden party with no particular motive, or just catering the garden party.
Yourselves.
We've turned over a new leaf. We're now
Yeah.
caterers.
We're now
This
catering.
is
Caterers
the
to the
legit
noble
operation.
to the noble parties, and it's just like
In White Crown.
yes,
At the Spirit Wardens.
yeah, it's just
Nothing's
fine.
gonna go wrong.
It's
That-
fine.
They need to eat pigs in a blanket too.
That's just a coincidence, really.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
know where the work is, and right now the Spirit Wardens need catering.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
that's
start
the
at 6
job
o'clock and the clock is going to be amount
no.
of pigs in a blanket remaining, and
Yeah,
then it's
pigs in
gonna
a
go
blanket
down.
remaining.
No, it's part of our out of
There's a
supply.
There's a secondary clock for how satisfied the guests are.
Yes, and then there's another one for like the second cousin of the Master Warden gets drunk again, and it's gonna be 4 o'clock. It's not gonna take long.
That increases with every action you take. It increases by 1.
Yeah.
We have 4 actions we can take before.
I would actually kind of like a restaurant-based, like
I've been
How would
trying
you
to
boss?
make a restaurant game for like close to a year now. I've been trying to pitch a mall food court Blades in the Dark hack.
what it reminds me
could
of.
totally do it.
There was this mini, like I think it was just a season. It was okay at the time. I liked it.
The food court
the-
game.
The food court game. Oh, I was actually it was a show actually called
Oh, sorry.
Devil is part-time worker or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the anime, yeah.
Yeah, the anime.
I saw that for about, I think, 5 or 6 episodes. It was weird.
It was
Devil
strange.
just
Literally,
comes to
Satan,
Earth
a
and-
fantasy version of Satan Incarnate gets transported into the real world Japan from.
It's taking the plot of Lucifer and making it.
It's a reverse isekai, actually.
Or
and
is
yes.
it isekai.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Um,
he has to
it
work
has all
minimum
the-
wage, and
It
yeah,
has
it's
all
weird.
the genre tropes of an isekai with. And you just the one thing
It's-
they change is they flip the script on it, but that still ticks
Flip
all
the
genre
setting.
boxes.
True.
Person
True.
going to new world
And
and not
learning
knowing
it.
what's going. Yeah.
True. That's also I think had some elements of like restaurant wars, kind of.
Now the one food anime I can't watch is that
Food Wars.
Food Wars. I can't watch it. Again, I saw episode 1. It's like I can't watch this anime.
I
I
have been. I've not actually have been. I watched it a while ago. The food is so good. I made some recipes from it, and they're really good. Marissa really likes the apple
Were you
risotto I
standing
make.
in your kitchen naked after you ate it?
No.
Because if it wasn't that good, then I don't want to hear it. That's false advertising.
Yeah, that's all I'm taking a bite of whatever sandwich they sell that makes my pants fly across the room.
None of it was that good, but all of the recipes are legit.
I almost mistakenly walked into a showing of that at the last con I was
Oh
at.
yeah,
Orange.
the writer I think of Food Wars was there. Or was it about that, or was it about cosplaying Food Wars, which is
No,
yeah.
I think that one was just.
Did he just have like tearaway
Crunchyroll
clothes
showing.
on lines? Yeah.
I don't know what was the subject of the talk.
Yeah, we gotta. That's the way to do it. An overproduced panel where they make food and stuff, and they have it rigged. The people that try the food clothes actually get ripped off by lines.
By like cinema, just like someone like, okay, now pull, and then it's just
Yeah, that's exactly what I
Velcro
want.
sounds.
Yep.
Why does it
I'm
just sound like
more
a?
scared of this show now.
It just sounds like a new Thunder Down Under, but
No.
it's just like
Yeah, it's
food.
gonna
based.
be the very
Saying I watch
niche
Food Wars for the
Thunder
cooking
Down.
is true, but also really suspicious. but also true. But
Why is this con panel being held at the strip club next to the airport?
I want to. Well, okay, cooking bear. They had an episode where they cooked bear, and it was interesting.
How?
I'd eat bear. I'd
I
try
would.
it. Why not?
I think I
I
have.
would not eat.
I have
Probably
not
gamey.
eaten bear. Basically, it was
eat water bear.
extremely gamey, and the whole episode was about how to deal with that. But the thing is, as time goes on, there's less, not none, much less naked reactions.
That's the whole point of the show.
I
They
like the
draw
food.
you in with the naked.
But yeah,
reaction.
they hook you in with the clothes flying off, and then they're like, no, now you watch the story because you're
Yeah.
invested.
Now you're yeah. Now this character's in a French restaurant, has to learn how to like in this immaculate restaurant how to
No,
run
no,
a
I
kitchen
want her-
properly.
I want him to be tasting food like you're supposed to do in a kitchen, like he's cooking at his station and tastes food, and then his chef jacket flies across the room.
That's good. Like, as the longer he works, the more naked he gets. It's just like a single article clothing.
Well, it's just buttons at first
Alrighty.
as he's tasting like the smaller components.
Yeah,
of
it's
the
just
dish.
like there's one button pops off or something.
I'm gonna say, yeah, he eats the booze boosh and his hat flies across the room. At time he's at dessert, he's down to just his skivvies.
There's a burlesque show here that could probably make a ton of money. Burlesque
Speaking of
cooking.
making a ton of money, Blades in the Dark.
I don't know how that's related, honestly.
Because we're making a ton of money.
Are you?
No.
You guys are constantly broke.
One last
Yeah.
food RPG thing.
Oh, we'll
I'm
see. Maybe I
definitely
can get money.
closely following someone in a Facebook group I'm in who is actively working. I don't know how good it's going to be, but he's been posting about it. A OSR Iron Chef themed kind of game. He's been posting,
Interesting.
Like, doodles and little things. I'm
Wow.
patiently waiting for him to release some document I can read.
How
I wanna know-
OSR makes
I don't
like
know.
do you have
He's
AC
gonna
and HP or
I don't know. I don't know. He's not released any firm documents yet, but I am on the edge of my seat.
No,
Okay.
it's OSR and that like death is around every corner in
I
Iron
mean,
Chef.
yeah. No, I could think of every. There would be like, with Blades, if you made a blade like Forge in the Dark cooking game, one attribute would be based on cooking itself. You'd have like 4 actions under that. One would be probably based on restaurant management. And one would be based on customer service. Is probably what it would be.
But that's the Force in the Dark model. This is pretty firmly in the OSR model because
Yes.
I don't know. It's one of the mean old man Facebook groups where they only let you talk about OSR stuff.
Okay.
Grognard Iron Chef. Got it.
But I'm ready for it.
Gordon Ramsay here to do Iron Chef.
So you guys are disguised as
Caterers.
caterers and part of the serving staff at the Spirit Warden garden party that they are having to celebrate that they are just about to unleash a new something against the war they've been having against the water demons for control of the canals. All of the top brass of Duskwall have been invited. Most of the city council is here, and their like family and friends and associates. The Lord Governor herself has arrived, and is there with her bodyguards, but is part of the party. It's in the garden in front of the there's a large garden for the manor. Unbeknownst to most people, except each other, you guys are working with the demons to sabotage this entire thing. Or more specifically, they brought you in because you better fulfill your end of this bargain, and this is how. For
And
the
they wanted
previous
us
stuff.
to drop the vial or the jug. Of
Yes.
goo
A vial
stuff.
of mysterious black ooze was
They said
stolen
drop it
from the
and
Spirit
run.
Warden a long time ago, and now you are being asked to
Like
throw
like
it.
3 months ago, but whatever. Like not that long.
Yes. But that was like episode 4, I think. It was kind of long ago, 4 or 5. Get to the right place, unleash it, maybe throwing it, and just run. And then fight a bunch of them on your way out. Yeah. So simple. What could go wrong? Nothing at all.
Let's find
Nothing at
out.
all. Nothing at all.
There's-
So,
there's more characters.
You guys, I think you guys are mostly in the kitchen, and the garden itself is where most of yours, and the single like small set of hallways in between. Um, Most of the doors that don't go in between that area are locked. And there are some guards both patrolling, and some of the main doors that are locked are just like standing there. Um, on the route, you guys have been serving drinks and food to the most prestigious people in the city.
Yeah.
They're, of course, being the good nobles and completely ignoring your existence, except when they need something. There's a single hull in the garden with it like painted on suit that is like greeting everyone in its robotic voice, and some of the nobles are oohing and awing over it.
Because we just want to start with what we're doing to when we come in on the characters.
Absolutely, I think I am very interested in that.
Okay. Well, I have a dumb plan, so I'm gonna do my dumb plan. Hicks is trying to find by onto the guys are walking around canapes and little like finger food, the best place on this hull to slip this vial into.
Okay.
And like in the robot that everyone's oohing and awing over. My plan is to find a way, put the vial in it, like with a string on it, and as we walk away, like pull the cork. So now the cool defense robot becomes the vector for nightmares. So to
They wanted it
It's
dropped in the
actually not a
middle
stupid
of
plan.
No,
Well, you said what you're doing is you're looking around for the best option, and that's an example.
yeah, because if any surviving nobles see a hull oozing nightmare goo, they're going to be reticent to fund more.
That's also a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Though, I'm not sure it was a vial. Like, wasn't it a jug?
No, it is
I
a
picture a
it's a fairly
glass
large
vial.
vial. It is a glass vial.
Okay.
It's about this big.
I was
It's like
picturing.
I wouldn't call it
Honestly,
big, but I wouldn't call it small either.
I was picturing something about this tall, about this wide, with the curved top and the stopper.
Yeah,
I think it's
Erlenmeyer flask kind of thing.
yeah, it's probably slightly bigger than
Erlenmeyer's
that.
like a
Yeah, the
circular
triangle
base. I was thinking like a rectangular base, but that was just my brain
Yeah.
how I saw it.
Yeah, I right now at least the shape doesn't matter. But yeah, it's around that size, maybe slightly bigger. But yeah, it's still very carryable, very concealable if with especially your Hawker's rigging. Let's jump right into it then. Do you want to survey the area?
Yeah, I'm trying to survey the hull to see where I can slip it in.
Okay, so you are focusing on slipping it into the hull specifically.
Yes. He had this brainstorm at the party. It's like, wait, there's this bot here, and everyone's doing an eyeing over it, making it a good point where it'll affect a lot of people, but also have some
Okay.
lingering effects.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to survey the hull to see if there's a way to do this.
Yes. So my question for this, your position here, I think will be controlled, but I think you'll have limited effect. There's not a lot of empty spaces in the hull. My question is, are you doing a setup action, or do you want this roll, because it could be either or, to directly contribute to the clock?
I was planning on having this contribute to the clock.
Okay.
Because the act of unleashing the vial seems like not even really a roll, just like dropping or taking the top off of it.
Yeah.
But
trying to find
it
the
feels
best
like
way
it's
to do
more
it.
about the best vector and the best plan.
Yep.
So that was my take on it. Is there a way I could make this risky standard as opposed to controlled limited?
If
I
you
don't know.
specifically kind of like start ignoring your serving duties a bit to observe it for longer.
I was gonna bump into someone and get some mustard on their shirt, and like that's looking at the hull and try to wipe off the mustard from their shirt while I am to get close and have a reason.
Okay, to get like to bump into the circle of nobles and get into where they are. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So risky standard.
Risky standard. All right, it's very much risky. Having a mere servant do this and dirty one of their clothes.
Mm-hmm. Now, is anyone have a good devil's bargain here? Because
I mean, go into a noble party
I
semester.
think that
That doesn't take-
my devil's bargain.
I mean, I have half a suggestion, but I would need the detail to fill it. There have been plenty of people that he's mesmerized. Are any
Oh,
of them
wow.
nobles, and is this the person?
I've memorized a lot of people, both on camera and off. It's kind of his get out of jail free card.
That's true. Then yeah, I think that maybe not that same noble, but someone might recognize you. Not and as a member of the Fusewrights unit, but as you, an
Me
individual.
personally,
Yes, this is not a crew-wide consequence.
I will take it for my bonus die.
Okay.
Recognized.
All right. Let's see that roll.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay.
Quite.
So as you're looking over, like you're like, I'm so sorry for that, and you start like doing the thing as you're looking over at the hull. Someone like a hand roughly pulls you back from this person and like forcefully turns you around, and you find yourself looking at you might like he looks familiar to you as well. He's probably like he's one of the family members. Probably he looks like the middle son of one of the city council. Let's go with, I have all of the names here. Let's go with Penderin. So he is Mr. Arthur no, that's too close to Pendragon.
Arthur Pendragon?
Arthur Penderin. Okay. I'm just gonna go with the
Billy Penderin.
Blades.
Now,
It's Artie.
quick question, because I don't know how these clocks are working. Because I got a 3, is that 1 tick or no tick?
That. That is
think
no
it's no
ticks. That is no
Okay.
ticks. You need a 4 or
Just
higher.
game rest. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, based on the names, here we are. His name will be Christoph. Christoph Penderin is second son of Lord Penderin. He pulls you like back and looks like red-faced and offended and says, "How dare you insult a lady like that? You," and I think he basically like orders you and demands you that you must actually no, he's not going to talk to you. You're a mere servant. He calls out to one of the wardens to start to take you back and punish you as a servant for doing such a horrible thing to a guest of all people. And
50 lashes for a mustard stain.
I don't think he says specifically, but from his attitude, Mr. Penderin would not mind that. But he says like, take care of bear. Yes.
Can I get more of a description of
Yeah.
Mr.
So he like just grabs a nearby warden who's like, you, Mr. Warden. He obviously he doesn't know the name of every warden. The master warden's name is the only one known. So he says, "Warden, you must take better care of your servants. They are just atrocious. Take this one back here and teach him what proper manners mean." He bumped into this lady and spilled mustard on her shirt. I think the woman down there is like aghast. She is in full agreement with him and just like silently shocked at like how someone could do this to her. This is her finest attire. And yeah, the warden is like, "Yes, right away. It will be dealt with. You come with me."
Now,
And he starts like,
I wanted to try to roll to do something here.
You can. I also want to check, is anyone else wants to intervene? We've only seen what Hicks is up to so far.
I mean, this is a great distraction. I ain't going anywhere near that.
He's
But I might
also
use it.
That was my follow-up. I was going to use this to make a bigger scene to provide more distraction.
Okay. What do you do?
So yeah, so all I know
You are
is
in
that
a desperate position currently. That is what has happened so
I
far.
figured as much. So,
And many
Mr.
eyes are
Penderin,
upon you.
Is he like, you said he was the son of a city councilman, does it mean he's like 20, 30, 40?
Early 20s.
Early 20s.
Yeah.
Is he
And
important
hot-headed with
at
it.
all? He's hot-headed.
Second son, not technically the heir. I mean, he's definitely more important than you, but he
He's the spare.
isn't. Kind of. Yeah, no. Many of the nobles have several children.
All right.
In case
And is it
the
common-
oldest dies out at sea.
Yeah, is it common to get beat as a servant by random people? Like, I don't feel like
It is not actual. It's not common, no, but it's far from unheard of, especially for what one would consider a grievous offense. But I think the problem is it's a lot of like. It's just not reported, a lot of the stuff. It's not like, oh yeah, no, we do, and it's okay. It's more like they do, and just no one ever tells about it because we can bribe and or etc.
So the fact he is telling a legal official that to go beat a servant is not at all problematic.
So far the warden hasn't been acting like that. Now the wardens are different than nobles. That
Yeah,
is,
but they're government officials. The wardens are government officials.
they are government officials in matters of ghosts and now
Yeah,
demons.
But if you ask a TSA agent to beat someone because they spilled mustard on you, that doesn't really.
No,
you
you are
I mean,
correct.
it really
It's-
depends on the TSA agent, honestly, but
Yes. No, it really does depend. It does depend. It's definitely not a guarantee or a given.
Yeah. So what do I have to do to sway Mr. Kristoff to take me off and punish me himself?
I am not going to just tell you that unless you'd like to study. Oh.
Insult him directly?
Oh, I get it.
Wait, oh.
Double way of confusing.
call him daddy and get a bottle of wine. Like,
It is possible. You get to say how you do that or how you try to, but that's totally possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna call him on his shit about. So Hicks, I don't have this whole speech in my head, but probably has some line about that. The intent is to call this guy on his shit for assigning a random official to carry out justice he deems need to be done. So if I actually need to be punished for spilling mustard, he could do it himself and not pawn it off. Like basically calling him on it. Like if you're gonna demand violence be done for such a minor thing, you have to have like. I'm calling him a coward for not even trying to do it himself.
Okay. You get to choose what action you're using, but the most appropriate one in my eyes for this is command, maybe. Because you're just like you're straight up. No, you punish me. It seems. Now you can use whatever action you would like, but I think that it might have worse effect.
Now, commands, as far as the wording, is command obedient to my first with like force of personality, as opposed to changing attitudes or behavior, which is sway. And I'm trying to change the
You're trying
behavior
to
from.
manipulate the
I think-
situation.
You can totally sway. By default, I think you have limited effect. He wants to do this publicly, at least in front of a few other people, to like show you that he is defending the honor of his date from that mustard, the horrible, vile mustard.
he's also swinging his dick around. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's not. He might not do it entirely in private with limited effect, but he'll. Some people might accompany him, unless you want to push yourself or do something else to get past that.
No, I'll try to sway him that he has to like pull me aside and beat me himself if he really wants this done.
All right.
That is the honorable thing to do.
You are in a desperate position. I
Do
think he
get
might
the
just start
XP
beating you
before,
right here and now if you fail. It's not that
Yeah,
Sorry?
Do I get? Here's the question, and we'll see if it's fine if this is not true. When do you get the XP for a desperate action? Is it when you roll or when you?
It's after the roll. As soon as the roll
every time
happens.
you roll
So
is
if you wanted the desperate
the
to
word.
fit into the same action roll, it wouldn't be until after.
I just didn't know if it would trigger and get me the extra dot or not. That is fine.
Yep. No, it would immediately after that, but not before. Okay. You
Desperate
are
action.
desperate limited.
Limited. Whatever. Question. Is this whole kerfuffle and scene quite possibly a distraction from real things happening?
I think. Let's see how the roll goes.
I need to know before.
You need to know before. Oh, for your dice roll,
I
you're
get
right.
a bonus die.
Okay.
I get a bonus die for creating a distraction.
I think
Part of
no,
this is
because you're trying to
uh,
get him to do it alone. You're trying to get him to take you away from everyone else.
Yeah, but I'm also trying to make a whole. Yes, I am trying to. That's like the end result. What I'm trying to convince him to do.
Yeah.
But to
I
see
don't-
if I can angle this to a distraction
That's fair.
for people witnessing the discussion.
It hasn't yet become like a distraction. Like right now, it's just a couple people looking, but it's not really everyone's looking at you guys yet. But it might become that, even if you fail.
Yeah. We'll see how this roll goes, and we'll figure out the next one, which might be.
Yep.
All right. No bonus die. Let's roll.
Oh no!
Well, take your experience and end your beating.
I take some experience.
Yep. So, I think that I think he punches you in the face. You take level 1 harm, face punched. Or punched in the face by a bratty noble. Actually, it's probably better.
I'm
And
gonna hold up my serving tray to represent Arbor as he smashes his fist through it.
perfect. Okay. And then he also basically says like, "How dare you!" punches and says, and then I think the warden grabs you and he now everyone is looking, but he's gonna start dragging you away and the noble is yelling after him. Everyone is looking now, like basically the noble is calling out that he demands that you and anyone who was hired with you is let go immediately and like get them away from here. Because he doesn't know who that is. Like the warden doesn't automatically know, but he's like, "Come on, we need to go deal with this. Let's go." He starts dragging you away to go deal with this in private in the kitchens or another office.
Okay.
You get 2 ticks as well on the Union is discovered app clock.
All right.
Unless you can resist that as well if you'd like to.
What do you resist?
What
in that
would-
case?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna resist
Insight,
on
I
the Union
think.
being discovered. I'm gonna resist Union being discovered.
And okay,
It would probably be insight.
that will be. I think it'll actually be resolved because this is a social consequence. This is like they.
Is it a result of consequences from mental strain or willpower?
Oh, is it not so? Okay, then insight.
No,
Yeah,
Insight is
insight.
deception or understanding.
I mixed them up.
Insight.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll to resist that.
Okay. This will, if you resist it, I think it would go down by 1 tick.
Yeah, I'm not saying like it'll go down entirely. That seems fair.
That's what my question was going to be. If it was one tick or the whole
So I wanted to
thing.
make that clear. Okay, let's roll to resist. You take 2 stress, and I think as you're talking your way out of this, the spirit warden is. It seems like
my dice rolls. Who ruined my dice rolls?
He is not really one. He doesn't seem like he's a servant beating type. He's more like, all right, let's separate you. We can't say the nobles are wrong in any way, so we'll just put you in timeout for a while.
Whatever.
But I don't think we see quite what happens to you.
Yeah, no, I figured someone else would be doing something at this point.
Yes. Let me just add someone recognizes Hicks and leave it at that. Okay. What are you up to?
I'm taking Adric possibly, and going like we should maybe try and find a way back in. That's not the servant's way because all those doors are locked. So let's try and find a window.
Did you guys go somewhere that's not the garden?
No, we're in the garden, but I'm like standing next to Adric with my like serving tray.
Yeah, no, I'm good for finding another way back in. I want to explore the basement. Sure. Besides, I'll just kind of whisper to you, like, I think that the Lord Governor has recognized me somehow. I don't think I should be around here. So yeah, let's find another.
I'm levying for a group prowl between me and you, or I could just
Yeah.
help you with prowl, like, because our prowls are the same, right? You have 2 pips.
3.
Oh, then I'll just help you.
Oh, is there
Okay.
something you can do with
if
this?
you
Oh, we could
Group
If you
will
crit.
give us
group it,
5 dice.
yeah.
You
Right.
do have,
But
Okay.
I
yeah,
cannot
synchronized
take
now.
stress. Sorry
Okay,
to
yeah,
say it.
I will lead it. I have 2 stress, so
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Okay.
here's just something to think about. If we can find a way to get some ticks on the fight the Spirit Wardens block before
Early?
we drop the vial, that
I
could be helpful. If
want
we're
to find and destroy holes. That is
that works on the
point
fight the
That
Spirit
works.
Wardens
being
clock.
here.
That works with the fight the Spirit Wardens clock. Like that
Yeah.
is effective for that clock specifically. If you take out their armor like reinforcements, it's easier to fight them.
Yeah. So getting into
And I've
those,
got
that seems like a
something
good
that might
first
help
step
too.
for that.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Now we haven't yet said who has the vial, right? Like it's kind
No,
of
it's
just
nebulous.
it's
It's
yeah,
ambiguous.
it is in you magic pockets when it comes to that thing, and that's fine.
Remember, it's going to count as one load, is what we decided.
Yes, it'll count as one load when someone takes it out. Okay. Group prowl. You guys, I think you're just trying to sneak in there. I think this will be desperate. There's no way they won't have they won't assume bad intentions and go straight to drawing their swords
They
if
have
they do
ghost-
this.
They have ghost lines and stuff.
Yeah,
Even with
exactly.
the distraction going on? I
Um,
want to argue myself out of XP.
unless you guys were avoiding the front garden area, so I don't think the distraction warrants yet pulling like it's not. We need guards to come from the rear patrols. This is more like a social oh my thing. It's a faux
Fair
pas
enough.
more than
Okay.
what you did last job. Okay.
So
Yeah.
desperate, and then
You know what? I'm wrong. This is risky. Desperate would immediately do you harm, and like you're already in a fight. Risky is
Okay.
you're gonna get seen. Yeah,
Failing this leads to desperate action.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your effect here, I think, will still be limited because of their tier and security that they have. They're not they may have lowered front security, but it's very much still there.
Oh, if we push it to desperate, I get an extra die.
That's such a bad idea, but I think I'm good with that.
Okay.
Smash a window on your way in.
It could be
No.
something like that. It could be like you
We're
instead
being
of
a lot less stealthy than servers should be. We're prowling, sure, but we're in uniform.
I could see
we're
this as you're like, you're maybe aren't avoiding. You're not going around the back. You're like just
We're not giving ourselves even the out of like, oh, I was just looking for the bathroom. We're like at the side of a house at a window, like trying to.
Yeah,
pop it
exactly.
open.
You have a knife in the window trying to hit the lock.
It's just like that. Okay.
So it's desperate standard.
Desperate standard,
I
and
get a
you get a +1. An Adric will roll as well.
I like
do we wanna
fives.
do-
Wow.
I think fives are great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, you got 5. Oh, I was gonna. I was like, what are you talking about? I got a 6.
There's a 6.
There we go. Last die. So that desperate helped. That desperate.
One of these fives. I could have used 1, maybe 2 of those 5s. You had 4.
You were the distraction. We're
Okay.
good.
Was that intending to like get you in to get closer to unleashing the vial?
for unleash the vial.
Yeah. So you guys get in the door. You notice and are able to like probably stop like probably a magical bell was about to ring as the door was opened, and you like catch the string, like you catch it before it rings.
Yeah, you catch the little clacker, you like quickly yank it down.
Yeah, and it probably was not just a normal bell, but it stops. You close the door. You reattach like the lock. Everything looks perfect, and then right as you duck away, a guard walks by, like the window. You're like, okay.
I don't think they see
You're
that.
in.
I think that's just like an audience guard.
Yeah, the audience thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm gonna point to Adric and point down, and point to me and point up.
Okay, you guys are gonna split up. Take top and bottom. Grind, what are you up to?
I'm going to use Hicks's distraction, I think. And I might have to flash back to do this. But what I'd like to do is like as we were coming in, I'm sure like in the background there were people behind us. I would like one of those people to have been Vedran that I invited along on this little soiree.
Ooh, we haven't met them yet, have we?
We tried to. We brought him in to see Adric's sister, but that didn't go the way that
Oh,
it needed
yeah.
to go.
Okay. Do you want to re-describe him then? He was.
Yeah, he's a. I'm gonna say like a disgraced doctor, like he lost his license,
Mhm.
but basically like he believes in mind expanding like ayahuasca trips and like spiritual enlightenment through the use of
Right. Oh, I am
psychedelics.
very interested in why you brought him here.
Oh, are you? Because the entire thing is I'm going to use the distraction to like sneak into the kitchens.
You're gonna
Like,
roofie the
hey, hey, all of you people in this room, there's a servant about to get beat. I know you want to see that.
And you're just distracting them while your friend doses all the food.
Yeah, well, he and I dose the food. Hopefully, yeah.
This is the best party ever, man.
Okay. I think.
But this has been pitched to Vedran as a social experiment to see what happens when the upper echelon of society is drugged without their knowledge.
Okay.
It sounds far-fetched, but that's every Victorian garden party in recording.
It really is, yeah.
True. So this is a few things. Firstly, I think we do need a flashback to have your friend come along because that wasn't mentioned before.
Yep.
So you don't already have a positive relationship with him, and it's pretty risky to come in here. So firstly, you need to convince him that it's worth it, or that you're like paying him something or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I'll that takes away from my load if I pay him, doesn't it?
It does,
No,
and that would
no, you flashing
No,
back.
if it's in a flashback, you've paid him already. It's if you
that
want
would be
coin on you
correct.
to bribe someone.
Actually,
Okay. Then yeah, then I will just pay him a coin. I will take it out of my stash.
For his expertise in
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Then he accepts. He's coming with you. It's a one stress flashback. And then now he's there. And then, do you want to do the distraction as a setup roll for the dosing? If you want, or do you just want to have him do the dosing, and I'll just roll fortune based on his skill, and you just distract?
Yeah, I mean, probably a setup because that makes the potential drugging more successful, possibly. So yeah, I guess I'll do.
Okay. Using rec
Okay.
to distract, then.
Yep.
It's not a typical distraction, but it is distract by definition.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, you're enticing the kitchen staff to go watch me get beat.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like to see someone get beat by? Come on. There's no TV.
Yep.
So what are we saying? Risky.
This will. I can't this could be a poison. This could be an assassination attempt of the Lord. This is desperate, I think.
Okay.
Just in terms of they might assume you're trying to poison and assassinate the Lord Governor. That's how bad it could get.
Crine is dressed like and is legally hired as catering.
Yes, but not kitchen
But
staff.
they don't vet their caterers.
Yeah.
Obviously.
At least not well enough.
I do understand the dichotomy of being a server and the cooks don't acknowledge your presence, because that is a thing that happens.
Mhm.
Shut up and put it in the printer.
Well, I think the cooks are the cooks live here. They're not literal wardens themselves, but the wardens need cooks. So I think
they're like in-house staff.
Yes,
Ooh,
they're
okay.
not separate. They're not third party.
Gotcha.
At least the lead cooks.
All
They
right.
probably hired some extra assistant cooks for this.
Yeah.
So desperate effect is.
You are doing a setup, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Actually, no. This is risky because it's just the setup. It's the poisoning itself will be desperate.
Gotcha.
So my mistake.
Risky doesn't matter. Do I need a devil's bargain here? I don't think I do.
Okay.
What do you roll? Oh, you're rolling rec. Yeah.
That's
You're
All
Six.
right, 6. So everything
Yeah.
goes fine. You can use that setup right now, as you're working with your friend. I think we'll do a teamwork action, and if you want to lead it, I'll roll his skill.
Of course, because I
Yeah.
can roll wreck again, because that's carefully applied sabotage.
Okay, so is there a specific chemical in your bandolier you're applying, or is this something that he brought?
It'd be probably something
it's probably something he brought, like some hallucinogen.
This is what he was brought for.
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
It's
stuff
probably
this-
something like something that they wouldn't notice afterwards. Like they're not going to start investigating this. It's probably something mild enough that they will all act like they just got drunk really fast, with even those that didn't drink or something like that.
Are you attempting to tick up the Unleash the Vial or fight the Spirit Wardens? Because
I think fight the Spirit Wardens.
I think this is fight the Spirit Wardens because it takes away effectiveness greatly.
Yes, it would. And many of the Spirit Wardens are eating as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like that jump, like lift the mask up.
Okay, so you're leading the teamwork. His skill, I'm thinking it'll be 2d6, like your tier plus 1.
Yeah.
So
plus an additional die from the setup.
I think it's only used for one. I don't think it's used for everyone. Do you want to use that in your rec? Or his?
Well, what's the position and effect first? Because I can use the setup to screw with the effect.
A die or
it is desperate. You're like, I think that you are probably just gonna get caught, at least you and him, not the whole union, if this happens. So yeah, this will be desperate, and I think it's smart enough and early enough in the party that everyone will be eating. I think this is standard. This bypasses scale.
Okay. In which case, since it's a group action, and synchronized doesn't say it has to be within the crew, it's just when you perform a group action.
You are correct.
I'm going to up the effect.
Okay. So, yeah, this is some real strong stuff if it works.
Oh.
Okay, I'll roll his first. So he got a 4 as his highest.
And I got no bonus dice.
Also a 4.
It's still okay.
It's still not. It's not bad.
Yes, and
still succeeds.
I don't think you get caught outright because if you did not want to eat the food, and you so it does succeed. You get 3 ticks on the clock.
It could just be stress.
No,
like
I think what happens is just as you come back, I think that one of the head chef is like, "What are you doing? Get out of there! Get away from there, you idiots! You're ruining it all!" He doesn't think you're sabotaging. He thinks you're like eating or maybe trying to cook more of the food without him, and he just like kicks you out of the kitchen. It's like, yeah, and you get 3 more ticks on the union is discovered. He is going to not just remember your faces for the rest of his life, but also like report you two just by appearance. He doesn't know your names, and he's too busy to ask for them. Frankly, he can't give you a full-on talking to.
Okay. Can I resist the union discovered thing?
Yes. Yeah. If you kind of like talk him down and try to.
Yeah, just try to smooth it over. Be like, it's not salty enough. You nobles never use salt.
Yeah. Like salt.
I think it's also insight.
Yeah. Salt is a disease that's weak use to flavor their food because they don't have strong enough taste buds.
You have to use butter.
Yeah, no one uses enough salt. Just as a rule.
All right. No bonus dice. I take 1 stress.
You take 1 stress and you lose 1 tick on the clock. So it is better. He's still angry, but he's not as personally offended. It's more of it becomes a small debate before he kicks you out. Okay. Hicks, you are being brought over sort of just... I don't think the warden tries to bring you inside. He tries to bring you just around the corner so that many people can hear the beating, but only people who want to watch it aren't forced to watch it. They just have to walk around the corner if they want to watch it. He doesn't get a whip or anything like that. I think
pulls out a fake mustache and puts it on Hicks and goes, "All right, now get back out there."
No, it's not that bad. Hicks did not roll well enough that he's quite on his side.
Yeah.
I think you really... Yep, it was just full everything. Okay. So, I think the warden looks kind of resigned to this. Like, he has to put on the show as well. Like, he doesn't necessarily want to do this. But I think he pulls out, like... he doesn't turn it on. What they have? They probably have some kind of like the equivalent of like an electroplasmic stun baton, which is normally they use to I guess like they use lightning hooks and stuff to attack ghosts. He doesn't turn it on. There's no electric effect. It's just like this metal rod.
Yeah.
And he's just like he looks kind of uncomfortable, but he's about to start attacking you.
So as he starts to like shakily raise his baton, like Hicks will reach out and grab his shoulder or try to get in close for a more whispered statement to the spirit warden, and something along the lines of he doesn't need to perpetuate violence within the system or something like that. Or it's like,
Yeah.
Help, I'm being repressed.
Listen, don't continue the chain of violence. Break the chain.
No, it's the logic is more along the lines of you are just as oppressed and controlled as by these nobles as I am. Don't be a tool of their own.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Basically accusing him of being a class traitor, but with nicer words to get him on my side.
Okay. This is, I think, risky. There are people that are on their way over to like watch you get beat.
I'm trying to use charm and logic to get this spirit warden to understand that he is in the wrong.
Okay.
for enabling this noble privilege.
Okay. So why don't you roll sway? See how this goes.
This is risky, as we said, right?
This is risky, and I think this is. I could see standard. Yeah, he was already described as being hesitant about this. He was literally the
which
first.
is why I grasped on this, because you said he was hesitant.
Yeah, he's not a noble. He's not like a servant master. He's not.
He signed up
used
to
to
protect
this.
people from evil ghosts.
Not beat a
Not beat
temp
civilians.
worker. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanted to beat civilians, he would have joined the
Blue
Coats.
coats. Yeah.
That.
There is. Okay.
It's called community outreach.
Yeah, you reach out your fist to them.
All right. I have no bonus dice. Let's just do it.
Oh!
Wow.
Okay, so
Oh no.
I think he's like, he looks like he's just about to take, like he's like, okay, I can stop. He like, you see, he lowers his weapon by an inch, and then you hear the voice of the man and woman saying like, "What's taking so long?" And they like round the corner, and as soon as they round the corner, he just like hits you across the face with the metal like bat, basically. You take level 2 harm.
Broken
I think,
tooth.
yeah, like
pride.
bruised face. I think you fall to the ground, and then though it is softer, he did hit you hard the first time, and he just starts. I'm not adding extra harm for this, but he just starts like beating you with. Actually, let's make that the whole thing the harm. He just starts like he hits you across the face, you fall to the ground, he starts beating you. With the bat.
Broken orbital socket.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, if he's beating me with a stick, can I?
You can totally resist that. If you would like to.
See, I only
Throw up
have
in a ball.
I only have 3 stress left. Is the problem?
You're gonna trauma out from getting beaten by a spirit warden because you spilled some mustard on some lady.
And no one is there to help you.
Well,
No
trauma's
one's
a good
here to
thing.
help me.
I mean, I thought you were just making a distraction. I didn't know you were gonna like
No,
escalate it to
no,
getting
that
beaten
was
on the
my plan
patio.
too.
But
My
if
plan
you
was-
trauma out from this, that's a really good way to get the obsessed trauma where you just obsessively clean everything. Because last
no,
time,
I wouldn't say
if
obsessively
I
clean.
was-
This is like,
It wouldn't be obsessively clean. It would be obsessively dismantled that person's house.
I'm obsessed with revenge.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
You are resisting, or are you resisting? You don't have to.
I think the thing here to do is resist. I've got to
Do
resist.
Resistance is
The
kind
whole
of Hicks's
time, by the way,
thing.
he's yelling, "Stop resisting! Stop resisting!"
I'm gonna resist getting hit with a stick by putting my arms over my head as he tries to hit me with a stick.
Yep, that is
the chief of the
resisting.
Blue Coats is like, good form.
No bonus dice.
How'd we miss that one, boys?
6, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you don't take any stress. It's down to level 1 harm. And yeah, I think that when you rate
Bruised
it,
toads.
yes, bruised forearms.
Bruised face.
Yeah. After a few
shiny.
more hits, he's like, I think he stops and like looks up to the noble, like, is that okay? Like, is that enough? Are you satisfied? And the noble, he just looks like just the worst smirk is on his face, and even somehow your pain makes the dabbed tears of the lady feel a bit better, and she's like, that's much better, thank you. I hope that servant never does such a terrible thing again. And then they start having like a lovey-dovey romantic moment. Like, are you feeling better, my dear? Yes, I am. Of over like your beaten body. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just like
Kinky, weird ass
I
nobles.
was like working a cake out of my shoulder because I just have the ghost
Yeah.
beat me with a stick.
Okay, let's go back to the party. And
They suddenly turned into We Happy Few.
kind of. Yeah, and they've just like they turn away like, it's done. Now we've forgotten about you completely. Let's go back to the party. And I think the warden just like kind of looks down at you. Feels
Fuck
awkward,
you.
and he feels kind of bad, but he just walks away nonetheless. And just leaves pockets. I think he like wipes a cloth or something. No, he wipes down his baton on your like servant's attire, and then like puts it away and collapses it and goes back to the party as well. And you're kind of like just around the corner, just alone.
You're in the clear now.
Yes.
You took your lumps and now you're good.
Yeah, the horrible
This
distraction.
crisis has yielded an opportunity.
Adric and Zaid, what are you two up to? You've gotten inside. You are in. You're currently trespassing in the Spirit Warden place. What do you want to do? It's mostly like marble stone. You're probably in a barracks room. I was gonna say a broom closet. They wouldn't put a window in a broom closet. It's like one of the barracks rooms. There's just like bunks on both sides. It's not huge.
Are there clothes?
Mm-hmm.
There would be clothes.
Yes, costume change.
This sounds like a good idea.
Adric is too young to be a Spirit Warden, clearly, even in disguise.
But they already
Oh,
said
they don't-
You can still.
though. They're all covered. Like you can't.
Oh,
tell.
you're right.
They
Okay,
did
there'd be the
separate.
aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper is probably what he would get.
Yeah, and also I was like, how old is Adric? 14? I was like 5'7" when I was 12. So
Yeah, let's remember Adric's a super soldier, so he's
Yeah,
probably
that's-
tall for his age.
That's up to Marissa, but yes.
yeah, I don't know how tall Adric is, but I'm just saying I was average adult height when I was like 12. So
I was a slow grower. I didn't have any growth spurts. It was just slowly up. Okay, yeah, we can try to disguise. I don't think the disguise is an action roll in and of itself.
you just
It's just
there
you
with the
are in
costume.
there and you can change
Clothing, and
costume.
Now we're hopefully more appropriately
Yeah.
attired.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think what I want to do is gosh, I don't know if I want to work on the Unleash the Vile plan, or do I want to like set up a retreat route for us?
Shoot. I think
I'd say unleash the Vile because we only have 3 ticks on fighting the Spirit Wardens, and we have you two armed to the
Inside.
teeth and ready to kill people.
yeah, you two are on the street, so
Worried about fighting, but filling that
so-
retreat maybe.
I have a question about the term a target.
Tracking
that
a
mean a-
target?
Well, it says gather
target is a target. Like it has to be a target's like a specific person or thing you're trying to track.
For hunt a target, is that what you're looking at?
yeah, like I want to
You
see if I
can't
can
hunt
use
them.
hunt to get to the most like the spot they told us to get to, the demons, because the original plan was to just drop it in the like main court area,
You could
not the
get
courtyard.
you could use hunt like that, I think, for fight the spirit wardens or a spot where you could be Overwatch for a retreat. I don't think you could use hunt like that for Unleash the File.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
you could. It would just be heavily reduced effect, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you
you
can-
could,
yes,
but, like,
that is
I
correct.
don't think that's the best method of it taking Unleash the Vile. I think using hunt to find like an Overwatch position or something would
Yeah.
be fight the spirit wardens or retreat.
It might just be another prowl roll then, but I don't like if I'm
Could be
in Spirit Warden
survey.
get up, it doesn't make sense to like survey.
You're not entirely. Just because you're wearing the mask and the uniform, that doesn't make you a spirit warden. These guys have some weird rituals.
Yeah, they have weird rituals. They have badges. They have other things.
Yeah, you don't know the handshake.
Yeah, you don't know the handshake.
So
You
no,
don't
it
have
would.
a skeleton key
I-
that opens
then-
ghost files.
And I'm not sure this would be prowl. Prowl is being unseen. You're not trying to be unseen. You're trying to be unsuspicion.
Unnoticed.
Unnoticed. Yeah. Yeah. So, trying to basically like talk and act your way through what feels like sway, deceiving.
Can I instead use a tune to give myself the effect that the Spirit Wardens have on the ghost field to make me look more like one of them?
So you want to change your
Okay.
energy
I want to change my aura.
Do you
wanna
want
change your
to?
energy signature to match more closely that of the spirit wardens.
That is smart.
Yeah.
Do you want to for yourself and Adric, or just for yourself?
I
It could be a group
We were gonna
action
split
if you guys want to. You are going to split up, so just for yourself and not deal with it.
Unless you want to stay, because you wanted to go to the basement. I wanted to go find like the vial spot.
a lot of what we're discussing applies equally to both of us. Instead of hunt, I was kind of looking to try and prowl as well. And
So
Okay.
maybe
This is before
maybe
you split
I
up,
do
then.
attune. Yeah. So I attuned till we split up. So it's on us until we split up. I have like an aura of spirit
Okay.
wardenness.
Then I think that sounds like a setup action to attune to like make the next getting to your places rolls better.
if you do want to do it as a group setup, I do have one tick in a tune.
Yeah, that would give us 4 dice.
Yeah, and the group setup, I just let it apply to each of you individual, and you could use your individual one when you wanted to, because
Yeah.
it's a group setup.
It's a group
Right.
one, yeah.
The one thing is, the group, I still really can't lead. I have no stress.
No, yeah, it's fine. I only have 2 stress because we made that last one.
Okay.
So we're good.
All right. So if it's a setup, that doesn't matter. Does position controlled?
Risky. Even the act of attuning yourself, you currently aren't. Don't have the like spiritual signature of the spirit warden
Anyone that's paying attention would see 2 new blips on the
dragon
Ghost
radar. Yeah, exactly.
So it's risky.
Okay. And then effect
Doesn't matter
'cause
for-
it's set up, right?
Yes, correct.
All right. You roll first because you have 1 die. I want to see how screwed. Okay, I'll take that
Have some
stress.
stress. I haven't tried this attuning thing yet.
Do I want?
Wait a minute.
No, because it's just a setup. I think this is fine. 5. We're good.
Oh, okay. Close.
Ones. Mm-hmm.
Lots of ones, but you got a
You're not doing
5.
well so far.
So, the spirit wardens they have whispers, but they don't use them in the same way as normal. Like, they don't have whispers to control ghosts. They use whispers to control the ghosts, to put them away and seal them and not use them.
Yeah.
They don't really use ghosts as part of their defenses. I think this is gonna flash back a bit to Chasing Adventure. But I think as you're attuning and everything seems good, one of the Death Seeker crows, who normally they're in a different area, but apparently some of them are just like hang out here. You walk past it and it just is following you and starts squawking, and just like keeps following you and squawking. And you hear from the distance some other wardens are on their way to follow up on that. It's like a mobile, not super
Alarm.
loud, but kind of an
Yeah.
alarm is there. Yeah, it
Can
looks
I
like
resist
that your
Right,
attunement has
yeah.
worked, but not for this thing alone.
Okay. Can I resist that?
Yes. How would you like to do that?
Um.
Like, this is how do you respond to the crow to make it go away? It's not that the crow never was following you, it's that you
Oh, the crow gets stepped on.
you just kill it.
I just kill it. I just grab it, go
Okay.
Uh,
throw it in
Cool.
a closet.
oh, oh, oh. Is that
All right.
resolved?
That's prowess.
Well, no, it's not how you're resisting it, it's the consequence you're resisting is very specifically. And I think
well,
It's a
how I do.
consequence from
spiritual,
willpower.
yeah,
You're willing
it
the
would be
aura.
resolve.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Consequence from. not
Resisting is
act-
weird in that way, but that is exactly. You are still killing it. You are still doing a physical action, but you're resisting a resolve-based consequence.
Okay, cool. Well, if I'm rolling, I was trying to get it to where I roll prowess, but if it's resolve anyway, then he would just exert his force on the crow
Like, no, it's
to make
okay.
it go away.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't, he wouldn't know exactly like, do they know when their crows die? Because then that's a big red flag.
True.
He would just rather try to like exert it.
Okay.
I thought I could use prowess to do it, and then
That's
I'd
fair.
have more dice.
Yeah, this is the one time where it doesn't matter.
Okay. Boop. I only take 2.
You take 2 stress, and I think after a bit it like stops and like it comes up to you and like looks at you like, I was sure you were different. Eventually it just leaves on its own accord back to where it was. And so far you're in the clear. A pair of spirit wardens walk past you and don't give you any regard, which is
Blame
a
me,
good
oh
sign.
Hotman.
No.
I think this is about time to split up. I
Yeah,
want
this is
to
the split
find
up.
Yeah,
whatever
I mean
spirits
both
there are
both
now.
stairs would be in the same place. You guys get to the staircase, one side leading down, one side leading up.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I'll see
Down
you
we go.
on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, drugging
Grind.
more?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Grind, you and your friend, what is his name again?
Vedran.
Vedran.
Or Veldrin, I'm sorry.
Veldrin. Okay.
The team of unethical scientists.
Have been kicked
Yes.
out of the kitchen for messing with the food. Luckily, they didn't catch that it was messed with in a harmful way. And I think we catch up with you as like the latest row of. You know what? You didn't just get kicked out of the kitchen. You got kicked out of it with like trays of stuff that has been drugged to serve, because you're not allowed back in the kitchen, but you have to do your job still. So I think we see you served like drinks, and the camera shows something is off about the drinks and food slightly.
Like at the bottom.
Yeah, there's like a little blue droplet of like clearly not supposed to be their drugs.
Yeah, the camera starts with the drop dissolving in a drink, and then
Exactly.
it pans out and it's on a tray Grind is holding.
Yeah. So you're out there. I think you are serving the drinks. That's already part of the previous role, so it's you can do that. What else are you doing while out here? Veldrin is of course serving staff too, so he's serving them.
Well, there's 2 things I could try doing. Both of them are terrible
Okay.
if they go wrong.
You probably also hear like nobles talking about some incident that happened recently with
Servant
like
just got beat.
some sort of some one of the servants misbehaved and got beaten around the corner. So I'm sure you can find Hicks if you want to.
Yeah. Do I see the what is it, Lord Commander, the
Lord Governor
head?
herself.
Yeah.
Yes, she
Well,
is.
the Spirit Warden headmaster.
Oh,
guy,
the Master Warden.
that
Yes. Yep. He's there. He
Yeah.
was previously talking with the Lord Governor, but they both are busy people. He is just about to get up and make a speech.
guy. Well, I don't really want to talk with him, but I'm gonna go find Hicks. But on my way there, I'd like to like bring the tray close to him to see if he wants a drink right before he makes a speech.
Okay. I could just do this as a fortune roll to see how he's feeling.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, because I'm not actively doing anything. I'm just hovering in the right spot.
He does need a drink. Like he's going to do like the clinking of glasses thing, so it's very likely that he might need a new drink if he already has one. So I'm going to roll 3d6 for this. Actually, I'll do 4. I think that's very likely. Okay, he takes 2.
Yeah. Awesome.
This is for the speech, and this is for me.
He takes two, one immediately goes back on the tray. Like he takes one, pounds it, and like has the second.
That's what he does, actually. Yeah, that's exactly what he does. You drug him before the speech, not after.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like he killed his drink, because that's not a good look. If you go up and your drink is like almost empty, so he wants the full one for the speech, so he can like cheers at the end of it.
I think maybe the Master Warden might be nervous of public speaking, like everyone, and so he's like, for courage.
He's used to wearing a mask all the time.
Yeah, one for courage and one for the after effect of what's going to happen. You go to
Let's
find.
see if he makes it to the end of the speech.
Yeah.
But yeah, after he takes that, I'll like, get rid of the rest of the food on the tray, make it look like I'm going to the kitchen, but then go try to find it.
Okay. You find Hicks. He's not hard to find. Hicks.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the same corner that I was before, but I'm just like smoking a cigarette. It's like I'm not going back out yet. Just thinking about the next steps, because my last plan left me beaten in an alley. So.
Well, I think like go up to Hicks. Like he's visibly hurt, right?
Yeah. Like I'm a little bit disheveled,
Okay. We're like, Hicks, come disappear with me around this corner quickly, and I will administer first aid, which will take away your harm penalty for an hour or two.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Does it require any load?
As long as it doesn't say so.
If it doesn't say so, then I wouldn't think it does.
It's right here. So.
Yep. Okay. Then it doesn't.
So I can just roll Tinker and hopefully do a thing.
Yeah, and I think this is controlled. Like, they're not going to stop you from treating him. Like, no, the peasant has to bleed or anything like that.
I want to see his wounds for the rest of the night.
Yeah, no, they have had their.
That might make someone else queasy.
Hicks has paid and now is being promptly ignored. So.
Okay. Does this count as a healing treatment roll? Is the other question, because do those two things interact? Like, do I get plus 1d for this?
I don't think so. I think this is that. I think that's intended for the long term, for the downtime.
Yeah.
No, it says this ability can give first aid.
The physical ability can give first aid to allow your patient to ignore harm penalty.
But first aid is not healing treatment.
No.
Healing treatment, specifically the healing progress clause.
This is painkillers.
Yeah. All right, so controlled.
Which harm penalty? Like how many harm penalties do you have, Hicks?
1.
Okay.
Because I used armor on the guy punching me in the face, the metaphorical armor of the serving tray, and then I resisted the level 2.
You're right.
Down.
So yeah, you just have one level 1. Okay.
Okay. And I will roll standard effect since it doesn't freaking matter.
Not for this one.
5s.
Okay. So, I think that as you're administering healing, you do start to feel better, Hicks, and things are good. And then I think there's just someone comes around the corner, or I don't think you guys can hear footsteps that easily. It's grass. So she just says, "Well, that looks painful." And there's a woman there, like every one of the guests, and she is a guest, is dressed to the nines. She looks like she's in her 40s. Looks kind of... She looks very much like a noble, but there's like a toughness to her that you can tell.
Like a noble, like one of those...
In her eyes.
Fought in a war somewhere or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So she's kind of watching you. Says, you don't have a lot of experience serving nobility, do you?
It's kind of like dead eye stare, like, no.
No,
like, I don't even say anything. But like Hicks looks up and acknowledges her speaking to him and Grime. Like he looks up to acknowledge that he heard what she said.
Obviously not, or you'd have a better response.
I'm terribly sorry for my friend here, ma'am. Yes, he's a new hire. We found him ejected from the university, actually. I shoot daggers with my eyes and crying, like, not yet, buddy, not yet.
Yeah. I think it's up to you how you react when she says, "Oh, it's quite all right. I know his name." I think Hicks, you are the person I was most curious about when doing my research.
And you are?
Ah, yes. You might have heard of me. My name is Lady Thena Colburn.
Oh no!
Mm. Mm.
I sent my servant to speak with you just a couple days ago.
I
Haven't heard from
remember.
them since.
Odd fellow.
Oh, so he did make it. Good.
What would you
I'd
say
hate to
that
see
we
something
never
happen to
saw him? Shut up.
Saw him. That was the point of putting him on the train, is that he would take forever to get back, so we'd have time to move.
Yes. I just thought we could talk. It's a party. There's a lot of socializing.
I hold out. Hicks stands up and like dusts off his shirt and like
Yeah.
ashes his cigarette on his boots because he's still wearing like black leather boots to this serving event.
Yeah. And she says, "How is?"
Hold up his arm like a noble. Let's talk then.
Yeah. Oh, good. How is my dear mother's house treating you?
It's quite nice. We have done slight renovations to make it suit more specific needs.
She died in it, you know. Spirit Wardens
I
dealt
know.
with that. She came to come haunt me, but yes.
Okay. Can I? Hmm.
I don't know what to say to her. So
I mean,
you have a thing.
Not good at this.
You want to?
But in Grind's brain, it's, well, why did she come to haunt you? And you want the house? You killed your mother, didn't you?
Yeah. So
You already know she was cut out of the will, so
yeah.
yeah.
My vague plan for how to help with this specific scenario. I'm sorry, I don't actually know how Grind could like help, but my vague plan is to cause a social distraction by walking and talking with this noble, following up on the getting dragged and beaten, and then a further faux pas of like publicly engaging with the noble, like in.
Okay, so this isn't this isn't a beating. This is like a gossip distraction.
Yeah, it's a gossip distraction. I'll have the.
I do have one thing then. I mean, hopefully she doesn't know who Grind is. I don't know if she does or not. But Grind will just say, well, let you two talk then. I'll go get you some refreshments, perhaps?
Yes, good. And she doesn't even look at you. So yeah, no,
Go
she
and
doesn't
get some
seem to
drug food and
recognize
bring
it.
it back.
Okay. You're helping, like you go and get it?
Yeah, I want to go. I
Okay.
want to go grab like some drinks and stuff that I know are roofied and bring them back and be like, oh no, he doesn't get any, but you do.
You get back to, like, you're not that far, but you can now hear the words that the Spirit Warden is saying in his speech, and he is now ranting and raving about how the sea demons are going to take over Duskwall unless we, the Spirit Wardens, stop them. We are the last wall, your last defense against the horrors of the void. Yeah.
So I'm just imagining like all of the like glassware or whatever in front of him on the table is just knocked over, like he's been pounding on the
Yes,
table.
and some people are beginning to like they're getting there too. Like it's not just him and everyone's like awkward. Some people are, but some people are beginning to be affected and similarly cheer. It's becoming a bit rowdy.
Awesome.
Many of the like guards and many of the wardens are not drinking. Most of the high-ranking ones who are part of the party are, but those who are working, of course, aren't. Drinking or eating.
Take out the officers, the men will follow.
Yeah.
I have a plan.
But yeah, that's what you see when you go get food and bring it back. Meanwhile, Hicks, what do you want to do to?
Yeah, I wanna convince her to take this conversation on a lovely stroll around the garden, as opposed to by hiding in the corner. So yeah, to rumor mill gossip to distract some of the more uppity nobles
Okay,
The ones that care about these social faux pas would stare at us as we walk around,
that works for
and
me.
Hicks will have a massively flamboyant walk as he walks around just to make it even more, like, not even...
Yep. Okay. I don't know what this might be its own thing. I don't see necessarily these as close to the Unleash the Vile clock,
This might not be one of these clocks,
and that's fine.
but yeah, that's fine. But the intent would be to that's kind of what's important. Is the ideally this would be a distraction from. Actually, I know what clock I would like to work on. I would reduce the Union is discovered clock
Okay.
by
Mm.
more social faux pas
Okay.
bullshit of walking around. To,
Okay. I think you have.
I'm trying to distract from the interlopers that have been noticed.
Yes. I think this is controlled, especially with people being drugged. I think this is standard effect.
Cool.
You can go risky great if you
Yeah.
want.
With the dice rolls, I don't know if that's a good idea. With how they've been
I'm not.
going.
I'm rolling
No luck pushing here.
with controlled standards.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
No
Is
bonus
this sway
dice.
or consort?
I was thinking sway.
Sway works.
I-
Yeah.
I am attempting to change attitudes with.
Charm.
Yeah. This isn't so much like this.
charm
This
and
isn't
manipulation.
convincing her of anything, but you're talking.
No. Yeah,
Wow,
no,
this is
I am
going on.
actively like talking with her, and he's dancing around any solid promises. Like he's not guaranteeing anything, or he's specifically dancing around, but just engaging in this. I recognize the fact we both know what you want, and you know what I want, and he's just dancing around that.
Yeah,
whole
talking
time.
about the house itself and like stuff in it, rather, or like its
And like
architecture and library.
Hicks is focusing on how much they use it and how much more use they get out of it than just a simple residential manor.
How much do you say? No, we'll deal with that after.
Oh, not so much yet. That's how much. That's for later. You're right. But yeah, he's focusing more about how much more practical it is for the Fusewrights Union to control the property than a luxurious noble manor
Okay.
normally has.
Okay. Then let's.
That's a
Okay.
5.
5. So I think you still resist this, or not resist. You reduce the clock by 2, which is nice.
Cool.
I think. What happens? I think she says, "Oh, it's I had heard rumors that it was the headquarters of the Fusewrights Union, but I didn't know just how much it was useful." I think I'm going to take one more on the eviction date. For some reason, for her, that ticks it up.
She wants us out quickly.
What do you mean the people who make bombs are in my mother's house? I might want that to not be a thing. As she's talking with you, she says, "Usefulness or not, it is not yours, and there was no one to enforce that. Take another manor. I don't care. But
Possession
leave."
is 9/10 of the law, my lady.
Yes, and I possess the house.
Do you?
I shall soon.
What
Now
color is that room?
She says it like she actually does know.
Hicks has painted the wall.
He went in there and painted everything.
Yeah, she says the old color. And
Yeah. But that was months ago.
Do you know what I did before all of this?
I think we
No.
do.
Hicks says no.
I served a stint in Ironhook Prison for saying the wrong things to the wrong people. But before that, I was a Leviathan hunter, and I was one of the best.
Cool.
Right. Well, I'm saying you shouldn't get on my bad side,
I would
Mr.
never.
Hicks. You are, quite frankly.
I apologize. In the future, I'll do my best to be more cordial to avoid such bad side.
Just, I would think you'd want to get on my good side if you didn't want me letting anyone know who you were here at this party. And if you sign something, which I can write up right now, saying that you're going to forfeit all occupancy of the house by next week, I can.
And Hicks will turn slightly to see Grind walking up and say, should we discuss the documents more over refreshments?
Yeah, that's when Grind arrives back. And she's like, you're amenable to it then?
Amenable to this discussion?
Where is this happening right now? Like what?
You're like
set
walking the
scene.
perimeter of the garden, and everyone's like gossiping and be like,
Okay.
"Oh, she's talking to," and some people are like, "Oh, she was in prison before. She's not a real noble. She's brought here. Lord Strangford brought her. It doesn't matter."
Okay, so within full view, so I can't do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna knock the bitch out and steal her clothes.
Why were you gonna steal her clothes?
Because
Hijack
it's
clothing?
public embarrassment, right? She's gonna be wandering around this garden party in her small clothes,
Oh.
discredit,
Okay,
that kind of thing.
that's fair. So you have the help, or you already got the help. That was the previous sway, right? Or is your sway 3 already?
The way I rolled was for the reduction on the Union discovered clock.
And that did not
So it was
include the
right.
help.
Yeah, that wasn't basic. That wasn't talking to her. That was more using her as
Okay.
part of my
Okay.
manipulate everyone to forgetting about the kerfuffle that's been happening with the weird staff and worry about this new kerfuffle.
Okay. Yeah, and she then accepts the food and drink, the beverage, and she will talk to you. It's not super fast acting, so she still intends to strike this with you, but it definitely helps.
Yeah. So basically, the goal would be to drag this conversation out long enough so that Grind's hallucinogen kicks in and I can safely extricate myself from this situation.
I don't know if that's possible. The hallucinogen is mild enough that she'll be it'll basically make her equivalent to drunk. Which
Get the document signed for like multiple weeks in the future and get some more ticks back on that clock.
I don't think even if this kicks in, you'll be able to automatically extricate yourself. It helps.
I can help more. On the way back, I'll put Quicksilver in that food too. She'll be zoned out and take level 2 harm.
That'll work.
Okay. I think that'd be a 0 stress flashback.
She just ODs at this party, and then our
I
problem
mean,
is
but either
solved.
way, like.
Indigo?
Well, if that's what Grind's putting in the drink, I have no control over what has been done to her.
That is correct.
All Hicks knows for this situation is pick up a drink off the tray, pretend to sip it once, never touch it again. That's what Hicks knows about these drinks.
Yep. Okay. So you're just kind of waiting her out then.
Yeah, but with legal jargon.
Yeah, you're okay. Obfuscating. Yeah. Then I think this is another different type of sway.
With my help, I'll take the stress for that.
Yeah, that's what I was angling for by signaling down now Grind syrup the food and drink or whatever. I was trying to trigger the help.
I think this is risky. There's a few things that could go badly
that
here.
Seems fair.
And this is separate from the clocks. This is just getting her off your back. This was the devil's bargain. She recognized you, Hicks. This is getting her back off your back.
That's what I figured. I'm just dealing with my own penalties.
Yep. Now, because it might be a factor, I don't know if it would here. That's Quicksilver. It opens your mind to the ghost field. I don't know what's going on with the ghost field in the Spirit Warden's area, but
yep. I will keep that in mind. Okay.
Time to sway this lady. This is risky.
This is risky, and I think that this is before the help, because I am thinking that's before the help. I think it's limited if I'm not counting the intoxication. She is very pushy about this. Actually, no, the Quicksilver is separate from the help, so never mind. This will be standard. You'll be able to get away from her.
Risky, standard,
Do
bonus
you want a
dice
devil's
1.
bargain?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Bonus dice 1. Let's do this. 5.
5. Okay.
What bad thing happens to me?
I don't want to put the eviction date further because it's automatically going to tick up by 1 at the end of the score, anyways.
I mean, does she taste the Quicksilver? It's not exactly a, you know. It's mercury.
I mean, yeah, but I'm in count the Quicksilver itself. I already counted as part of making the effect stronger in this roll, so I think she already had some, and it matters.
Oh yeah, but like she ingests it, but there's definitely an aftertaste there. She knows she's been poisoned.
I think that makes sense. Yeah,
She's aware of treachery.
Yeah, so she doesn't just zone out, I think, or stop. She's like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to continue this later. And she, like, her face gets a bit pale, and she immediately, like, just turns away and goes towards, you recognize Lord Strangford, like her host of speaks, goes over there to start talking to him immediately. The Master Warden has finished giving his speech. I think he almost fell off the stage at the end, but he's okay now, and the party is continuing and getting a bit louder. But yeah, she just leaves. And I think that everyone is like, there's rumors of poison, because the Quicksilver is the only thing they could tell. So
it was just her that got the Quicksilver, though.
It was just her, but she's telling people that happened.
Right.
So I think you succeed, but I'm going to up this by another 2 ticks. Get back to where we started, because people are now like,
well, I'm trying here.
There's rumors, but people are suspicious, and I think Lord Strangford himself, like, he gives you a look, Hicks, because you're the one she was talking to, and you're a servant. And you can see his eyes. He's old. He looks like he's like walking in a cane. He looks probably in his late 70s, maybe older, but his eyes are fierce and steely and perceptive.
He's the mean old man face, where like we don't mess with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's what kind of old man we don't mess with.
Yeah, so he gives you a look, but then his eyes pass over you, and he's looking at everyone super suspiciously. Yes, Jordan?
So, I just want to know what the demons told us to do with the vial. Did they say put it somewhere specifically, or just cause a distraction with it?
Anywhere in the center areas would work, if you wanted to.
Yeah, they just wanted to bust it open somewhere inside the compound.
Yes, and you are already there.
So, because I like the idea of, if they want it just as a distraction anyway, why not put it in the courtyard with all the important people? That would,
because that's where they're attacking.
Oh, that's where they want to attack.
They will attack that area while the oozes are inside, preventing reinforcements and also attacking from the other side.
Okay, that changes what I want to do then. Marissa, you go first.
Okay, Adric. As you descend into the basement,
to the robot room,
there is just this, like, humming buzz in the background of everything as you descend into the darkness. And then there's just a single door. Open it. There are 2 spirit wardens guarding a second door as well, just inside. And beyond the, I guess I wouldn't call it a door. It's more like it's one of those electroplasmic gates of sorts. And beyond that, you see 6 hulls with a 7th missing hull that are all sort of set into charging stations. They are you did read up on the hulls. They are in their passive mode charging. They are able to activate, but it takes more than normal. They're like asleep, basically. They're not as aware. Beyond that room, but through it, you have to go through the electric thing, is another. Actually, not. I think actually in the center of it is this thing covered with a cloth that looks larger than any of the other hulls you've seen. Probably, it looks like it doesn't look like a. You don't know what it is. It's in the same room as the hulls, covered with a cloth like a car is. Probably about the size of a car, actually.
Is it long and tubular? Could it possibly be a robot submarine?
It is not a robot submarine. I considered a robot submarine, but it's not a robot submarine.
Just making sure we're on the same robot submarine wavelength here. That's a possibility in the future.
Yes.
I'm all about that. I'm all about robot submarine to attack the sea demons.
Yep. No, I like it, but that is not what it is.
Okay, cool.
The spirit. I think both the wardens like are there, and so when you open the door, they're like, "Something the matter?"
I'll head on up to them and basically say, something's been going on upstairs. We need another one of these hulls, and you're supposed to go check them out.
Nice. Why don't you sway them? It's going well. I think you have standard effect. You don't have a badge on. You are. I could see it.
Tell them what to do.
You're delivering orders. I could see it. I think that'll be limited effect though instead of standard.
Okay. Position here?
Your position here. Limited effect is one of them will go, one of them will stay. We are. Someone asked in chat what the crew type is. We are. You'd never
Hawkers.
believe it, but we're hawkers.
We sell bombs. Bomb sellers.
And this has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, currently we're at the behest of a bunch of demons.
We made a
telling us
pact
what
with
to
them,
do.
and now they're saying pay up by attacking spirit wardens.
So
Okay. Limited effect. One of them will go. One of them will stay. And
Can I up that to standard with the setup?
yes, you can. Yeah.
or
You have
can you push it to desperate for a standard effect, or do you not want to do that?
Point.
Well,
If we're sitting at risky?
is right now. Yes, it's risky and limited, so you can use that how you'd
Okay.
like.
Desperate standard, or set up for a +1 at desperate standard.
You know, I actually would like to try for desperate great here.
Nice.
By using both,
Yeah, I want to get them both, and I want to, be
make sure
here
no one comes
without
back.
anyone else around for a little bit of time.
That's a good idea. Okay.
Maybe. Let's see how the roll goes.
That's true. We'll see how future rolls go.
Yeah.
So how does it look?
Alright.
What is it like? How are you making it desperate? Or are they just like questioning each other and you're like, no? Do you just like push them and yell?
Like,
Take the knife out.
not quite at this point. Yeah, no, it's just.
If you don't
a matter of
follow
coming
orders, then I
down,
have the legal authority to stab you.
opening the door. I'm like, this is the order. This is what you're supposed to be doing.
Take it up with brass.
Push it to desperate. Yeah.
Being more aggressive about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You can hear the Lord Commander from here, yelling and screaming up there.
Those sea demons!
Damn
Like,
them!
things going on. You need to be there.
Yes. We did damn them to the bottom of the ocean. That's the problem.
Any devil's bargains here?
They leave one of the holes on as they leave. Like as they walk away, they turn one on to guard mode for the door.
Well, I told them to bring one, so that's.
Yeah, but there was 3 in the charging station. They bring one with them.
My
and they
devil's
turn on
bargain is
separate.
something else. My devil's bargain is in the future, because they're not. It's very likely you're not going to actually kill all the spirit wardens. They're going. My devil's bargain is they know you. They later find out that you did this, like after this whole thing is done, unless they do before, and they find and use a way where you can't pretend to be one. Like it's just you can't just put on a mask and uniform and attune, and they have.
Do they attune to Adric and sense the
Wait,
lack
we
of
already have-
emotions?
They already have
Like
that
they
set
could
up
sense that maybe.
I heard you Zen. Indigo, what did you say?
Oh, sorry. Didn't they already do a group setup action for the two of them?
Yes, but she's
Yeah,
using
just
it for
after
greater
the
effect.
Oh, you're using it. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're not trying to do
I'm
another one. All right, sorry. Just clarifying if
Yeah.
you're doing a new setup action.
Yeah, I think Adric, this is you can't disguise yourself as Spirit Warden again. Like they'll recognize you.
Adric
I'm-
personally.
Yes, this is Adric personally.
I'm fully okay with that. Disguises are my thing, anyways.
True. Okay.
All right.
There's a 5.
That is a 5.
Would it work?
Okay. But it is desperate on a 5.
Archer XP.
Yes.
And then duck and cover.
Yep.
Is that filling a clock? Just so for reference,
Uh,
are you
it's-
filling a clock?
I'm not
clock,
filling the
or-
union as discovered. No. No.
No. I mean for
Was
so what
I
was your
filling a
intent?
clock?
Yeah.
Like, this is in some ways almost set up for fighting that I'm hoping to go down.
This
but
feels separate
maybe
from.
retreat, but it doesn't really.
It might. I don't think it directly fills the clock. It just gets you
Yeah.
access to fill the clock
Yeah,
later.
gets you access to the door.
It's just narrative.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're like they look at each other. They look like they're about to question it, and then I think they do hear the yelling. So finally, they're like, "All right, stay here." And I think they go and they leave. But I think there are. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Cool. You hear a powering up noise from the central hull that is covered in cloth. It is almost an orb-like shape, or like a hemisphere. And there's just this like red light that starts glowing cloth slowly and direction. It raises itself up into the air on these like almost a central spire of sorts that just like comes out of it, which then splits into several clockwork limbs that are very agile, and if they weren't metal and they do have many joints, they're like many jointed tentacles of sorts. And as it
What, a clockwork spider?
No, as the cloth falls off it, it almost looks like a clockwork jellyfish hull of sorts.
Ooh.
But it is entirely different from any of the hulls you've seen or read about before. For one thing, this one does not have the bronze brass casing that many of the others do. This one looks like it is shiny and metal and bright and looks much tougher. Furthermore, there is, as you can see, the red light is not like a light bulb or anything that is the equivalent of that in Duskwall. It's this glowing red substance of liquid is being funneled around the orb in various piping and like pipes, and there are small like windows in the metal shielding that show this like glowing red fuel of some kind. And it starts now acting a bit more like a spider, walking towards you. There is this electroplasmic field in between it. It doesn't seem to heating that, but it doesn't pass through yet. Let's cut from there. Zaid.
So I would like to try and fill more of the Unleash the Vile clock.
Yes.
I'm going to do that by popping a window, letting my bird in, and having him hide up in the rafters.
Nice.
So then, like, if I am the one who has the vial, when the clock fills, he just drops it.
Yeah, you're giving it to your bird. You're potentially giving it to your bird because
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm trying to do this sneakily.
Prowl makes the most sense. Like going up and opening a window when no one's around from the upper floors.
And the bird has to hide.
The bird does have to hide.
I'm assuming you don't have any finesse, but that could be.
I have more in prowl than I do in finesse.
That's what I figured, but I was like, it could also be finesse.
All right.
I like Prowl.
Okay. Your position here is still risky. People are gonna be
Mhm.
weirded out if they see you doing this, and I think standard. Getting someone else in to help you plant the bomb, even if it's a bird, is good. Bomb,
Yeah.
it's not a bomb. Flask.
I could push it to Desperate Great, get an extra die, and possibly just like have the bird ready to go to drop the vial. Because oh no, wait. Yeah, we would need one more tick at that point.
Yeah.
If
do
you
that?
do Desperate Great, I think you do the Desperate Great, and you get the Daredevil die.
Okay.
I push
You
it.
like as you somersault towards the window and like as part of your
No,
Yeah, and I think it's your bird is hiding in like a more obvious place for people to
I
see
think
it.
it's
Maybe
more that when I get the bird, I have like I don't really have an out of being like, oh, I just let in this weird looking crow. It's like I know what
that's
the bird
the
is.
Phoenix's bird. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh no. Yeah, it's that. So Desperate, great.
Okay.
Gets me an extra die, and then Devil's Bargains are okay.
Okay. Well, if you fail, they might that Union discard clock might fail
some of
anyways.
the violence works
So,
on you.
I don't. Well, we
Don't know
haven't
what that
established
does.
that I have it, right? It's just I'm setting it up to where I can be the one who has it.
yes.
Right.
Um.
Right. Maybe
Can
a red
I-
bandana falls out of your
so-
back pocket as you're climbing up.
That doesn't
Always
work.
need to have one handy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know when you need to make a costume change.
Okay.
He
My
does
devil's
he's like, I want
bargain
them to do
is
it.
that some of their like supernatural alarms go off when your crow enters, and I will reduce a tick on the fight the spirit wardens clock if you want, because they get slightly more alert.
I don't like that because that clock is half filled.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the hardest one to fill, I think, is
Do
the
it.
fight.
Just do
Then
it.
my other option is one heat.
Oh, I'll take the heat. Yeah, I'll take the
Okay.
heat all day.
Zen, are you okay to mark that heat?
What do we add on heat? Yeah, I can mark it.
Okay.
Because if everything goes
that's the
well,
faction one.
they're not gonna know we did it. If everything goes well.
Yeah, this is just like maybe when they're interviewing bystanders,
Yes.
one person mentions they saw like a red bird entering. So there's like, was that heat involved? But it's one heat by itself. It's not a
Around
lot.
here, 'cause
Yeah.
I know
We are up to
people
4
try to
heat
get-
currently, just so everyone knows. We have
Okay.
5 to
Okay.
go before
We're
we're
gonna have to
wanted.
We're
All
gonna have
right.
to do heat production after this mission anyway. So
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just saying for future devil bargains and stuff like that, we have
Yeah.
6. Oh, that devil's bargain saved you really badly.
5. Wow.
I'm like,
no, you missed the die because I thought your problem was 3.
My prowess 2.
Oh,
Okay.
Daredevil help.
as a
all right,
reminder,
all right.
Daredevil.
if
that
you
one.
failed, I probably would have filled everyone knows who the Phoenix is because you're not wearing a mask.
Well, I'm
You're
wearing a
wearing
spirit mask.
You are wearing a Spirit Warden mask. You're right, but I probably
Yeah.
that or just the
Whatever. But
one of the
besides
two.
point.
You are not caught, so I think your bird swoops in there and
One tick off
positions
from
himself.
Unleash the Vial.
Yeah, and then we fill Unleash the Vial by 3. So they're in the perfect position.
Yeah.
I think
Now,
right
I have a
before
question.
yes.
So, can I have my bird roll independently, like just a fortune roll, to try and fill the clock?
Yes, it actually
Okay.
can. You can have it act as own NPC as
Yeah.
It can do a
expert.
bombing run.
Yep. Okay.
Because he just needs one tick.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Do we want to just see that now, or do we want to see Adric fight the thing, or Grind and Hicks do something?
I think we should do a full circle before we do the
one
bird
more
roll.
full circle?
One
Yeah,
more full circle?
and-
Okay.
Do we
Ryan
want
and-
to take a break now so we're not in
I
the
kind of
middle
want to do it right after the vial breaks. Like, take a
Okay.
break as it shatters. Assuming it does. Assuming that it goes well.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so we
So-
each get a turn, and then we roll for the bird to drop the vial.
Yep.
As for the bombing run here.
Hicks and Grind, you're in the garden party. It's getting a bit rowdy. People are... everyone mostly is like slurring their words and talking like this, and they're not noticing things. They're kind of out of it. Yeah. It's kind of people are doing their own thing. None of them are paying attention to you anymore. The only one who looks fully sober, obviously at least, is Lord Strangford. He has not touched the food or drink at all.
Damn keto.
Damn old men who care about their health.
So looking around, since we've been making various passes and everything, are there any obvious tinkerable contraptions like
The whole
in or around? No, I mean like built into the manor, right? Like a fire suppression system or anything like that.
I don't think that's automatic, no. I think that it's an old building. I don't think there's any obvious stuff. I think lots of those devices are at their other facilities, like
Okay.
Bellwether Crematorium. Not here. It's mostly for nobles and training.
All right, then Pixie got anything? Because I need a minute.
Well, I
Yeah.
can. Okay, if you have something, I was
I
gonna.
would think. I wanted to try to. So, because we're at the garden and there's like a tent that the most of like the tables and stuff are under, and like a little podium, like an open like garden party, like canopy tent is what I was thinking, so they could hang like lights and stuff in it.
Mhm.
And then there is the building, but there is probably obvious, but like guarded by spirit warden, like gates and stuff in the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, my attempt here, maybe not all be guarded. I shouldn't have said guarded, but basically, the goal would be I want to bind open using like a vial of like binding oil or something, like smash like use the because it's basically super glue, whatever. Super glue basically a gate lock open.
Oh,
So in
okay.
case they have like a shutdown procedure or something, so they
Okay,
can't
so it's
seal
unlocked
the gate.
currently, but they'll lock it down if they need to, but you're making it so it can't be locked down.
Yes, I am trying to carefully apply sabotage to a gate so it cannot be sealed with binding oil.
Okay, that makes sense. I think that the main entrance from the main entrance is currently open, being used to funnel then sideways into the kitchens. But you
Yeah, I
could.
was not a main. I was trying to get like some side, like garden exit to be
Okay.
sealed in.
Yeah. No, I think they. Oh, looking at the map and having looked at before, there is. If it's going into the outside, they only have one.
I'm sure
You
they've
know
probably
what
got
you
like servants' entrances and stuff in like around the back, like a little back gate,
That is
something like
true.
that.
Yeah, the servant's entrance would work if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, because the goal is to carefully apply sabotage to seal the gate open, so it just can't be locked. So they can't
Okay.
lock us in case of an attack, which is what you would do if
That's
your building's
smart.
being attacked.
Yep,
I'm
that's
trying,
smart.
so I'd like
Are
to
you
roll
are you
wreck.
filling the retreat clock?
Yeah,
I want to work on a retreat
pre-fill it in
clock.
a bit. Prepare for that. That could be, if you wanted it to be, a what's the word? This could be a setup for future retreats if you wanted.
I'm just gonna try to get a couple ticks on the
Okay.
retreat clock.
I think this would be limited effect just in terms of how many ticks it fills on the clock. It doesn't retreat you automatically, but it does make it easier.
What is the reason why I'm getting limited effect?
Because it
Is
doesn't
it
deal with the
because
other
of-
obstacles in the way, which
It's
is
so it's not because of it's not because of the tier of the spirit wardens, because I am unaffected by the tier when I bypass security measures, and bypassing a lockdown procedure is a security measure.
that's good. It would be no effect, I think, if it wasn't for that in this
All right,
case, because
cool.
they probably have some like special, like
Yeah.
I have a few ideas actually for that in mind that you're able to bypass. That they probably have like some magic walls
Yeah,
of some
limited
kind.
effect is fine, but I just wanted to make sure that was factored.
Yes, Jordan.
You could also Hawker's rigging your fine wrecking tools.
Can I Hawker's rigging my fine wrecking tools?
You are
Yeah.
using rec to apply this. Yeah. I think the way this increased stuff might work means like it's not just this one entrance you're gluing open. It's like a few of the open areas, a few of the open doorways that are in this on the side are glued open. It's not just one. Multiple
Because then
avenues
that
of escape.
allows you to do your alchemicals and your fine wrecking tools because you take armor.
Yeah, can I use the fine wrecking tools in Hawker's rigging? Does that
You are
work?
wrecking
I
to
have
do
before.
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will do that then.
Okay.
To increase effect with the fine.
Okay.
And I'll just roll wreck to do it.
Your position here is risky.
That seems fair.
You could
Shoot the
do desperate great with your rolls for this session. I don't think you want to push it.
Devil's Bargain would be, I think, another heat. Though again, looking back, they'll be like, "Oh, these were super glued. It must be someone who has alchemical abilities."
Yeah, I don't want to get more heat, but I'm
Yeah.
considering desperate great.
That's just be super glue every entrance you could be that's open.
Even like the bathroom doors are glued unlockable.
Yeah. No,
You can't
I need to
lock
use the
the
bathroom.
doors
No.
anymore.
Why? Look away. Look away.
Look away.
Yeah.
As much as these people are drinking, there's going to be a line.
Yes. Yes, there is.
It's like the door won't. It's stuck open.
Yeah.
One of the nobles is holding the other hair back of another noble, like, it's okay, sweetie.
No, I'm not gonna do desperate great. I'm just gonna
Okay.
stick with risky. Risky standard. No bonus die. No bonus die. Go.
Okay.
5.
Yeah, that's
All
good.
right. That is mixed, but it is good. So you fill this retreat by 2, so you've made retreat much easier going forward. You have a lot more. You have multiple avenues out that can't be sealed off
Now,
by
just
anything
as
more
a
than guards.
Sorry, just as a mechanics question, if we filled that clock before we retreat, we can just choose to invoke retreat, right? It's not like automatically filled and then you retreat.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yep. Because it's
And
more
I
retreat path, but the retreat path can be filled with like a prowl roll too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think since that one's not something we're doing right away, that could be consequences for some of these like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
rolls, right? Like some of our retreat gets cut off.
Now, Grind, we didn't see what you were up to. I have a thing if you want.
I actually came up with a thing. But
Okay.
yeah. Depending on how messed up all those people are that are near that hull that's on display. Like, does it seem like I could get in there and do a thing with relative ease?
Probably. Now, many of the people are, I think, what they've demanded, and somehow one of the servants has managed to come up with paints, and they're now some of the like younger teenage nobles who don't want to be here but have to are painting it themselves and like adding extra layers of paint to its outfit. And it's just repeating like, please stop that. That is like I do not wish to be painted on, and but it's not doing anything.
If it's teenagers,
so
that's drawing dicks all over
I'll
it.
go
That's
up
what
and
they're
start
doing.
I'll go up and start critiquing a little bit and be like, no, get in here or over here.
Yeah, and I think
and while I'm doing that, I would like to slip. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Actually, I'll tell you what happens after.
Okay. Well, I would like to surreptitiously slip some fire oil in front of this thing so that if it does activate and starts to move, it crushes the fire oil and is on fire.
Nice. Okay. That makes sense. When you go up there, I think most of the kids are like, I think they're probably 15, 13, like they're teenagers. Not
15,
super young.
20 range.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, a servant is talking to us. But they don't like send you away. They're like, oh. But they're like just talking in front of you. And they don't like completely, they aren't as disgusted. They haven't quite learned all of the discrimination from their parents. They're like, why are you talking to us? Oh, but that's a good idea. Okay, don't tell anyone. And then like,
don't tell anyone. This is our idea.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see that. This is sabotage still, so I think you're wrecking.
Yep. Position?
Controlled. Everyone's pretty out of it now due to the hallucinogenics.
Okay.
They're all like,
Awesome. standard effect. Does effect matter? See, this is weird. It's a setup for
If it's a
if
setup,
things
then
go
effects
wrong,
doesn't matter. Yeah.
But I won't really use it on a roll, I don't think.
I leave
It's
it
just
to
that-
you. This
I
could be
think
a setup if you can make it matter later. Like,
With this, it could be a setup for it mattering, or it could just be some ticks on the fight the spirit wardens because
Yeah, I
fighting
Okay.
think
starts
I'd rather do the.
start.
I think I'd rather do the fight
Okay.
the spirit wardens thing.
That's
So
fair.
effects probably between limited and standard, I would guess.
yes.
Yeah.
I think this would be limited by default. You
Okay.
want to
More
use
shock and awe than actual tactics.
more
because
shock and
the
awe,
hull
and the hull is
the-
vulnerable to fire, but it will
quickly run out of it.
it will quickly run out of it if it steps on it. But also some of the fire will, like, it's a garden party and it's basically alchemist fire, so some of it will stay. I think it's, when it comes to the spirit wardens, limited. When it comes to causing a general panic, it would be higher. But this is just for
Okay.
dealing with them.
Yeah, I think we'll just go with and limited. Will get me what
One tick, yeah.
1 tick.
Because I know my
Uh.
plan is going to be trying to fill that clock also, and I'm pretty sure what Marissa's going to do is going to try and fill that clock.
Yeah.
I'm wondering
What
at this point,
Marissa is gonna do
definitely
might be-
overfill, fight the
So
spirit warden.
I think what Marissa is going to do, parts of it might like be separate from that.
Yeah,
Um,
we will have to see. We'll
We
address
will.
that in a second.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna roll the limited. I'm not gonna screw with it. No bonus dice. 6.
Nice.
Very
Nice.
nice. So it fills by 1. And yeah, some of them giggle and some of them like sneer, but they do it and no suspicion is drawn.
Cool.
Adric, this new type of hull is heading towards you. What do you
The
do?
skull of a jellyfish.
All right.
Citizen,
Well,
you have 20 seconds to comply.
It hasn't dawned it's a voice thing yet, but it doesn't seem happy with you.
Well, for a moment, one of the first things I'm going to do is just freeze because I have history with these things and it is not good. But I came down here with a plan, and drat it, I'm going to enact that plan. So there's a couple of things that I'm hoping to do at once. One of them is a flashback, and another one is, you said they were at charging stations. I'm hoping to be able to find whatever it is I need to hit to turn those charging stations off in order to, make it so at least if these things do activate, they stay activated for a ridiculously long period of time.
Okay. Well, firstly, I'll let you decide which to prioritize, because while you freeze up for just a sec, I'll tell you what threat you're facing. It walks, it sort of like spiders through the electroplasmic wall, and it doesn't seem like it's supposed to be in there. Like electroplasm like sears into it and starts like lightning it. Except that deems that it doesn't seem to care. The red fluid in it glows brighter than ever, with now like electricity sparking through that fluid, but it doesn't seem harmed by the electroplasm itself. Now you hear its voice. It's sort of a higher pitched. Robot voices aren't inherently gendered, but I think it would sound like a female robot, if that makes sense, in terms of like it has a higher pitch.
We've all played Halo.
Yeah, exactly. And it
Actually,
says,
but sure.
yes. And I think it says, you have the aura of water demons. You must be an intruder. And I think one of its tentacles, very much like one of the sentinels from the Matrix, just like splits into this rotating blade. And it says, you have 20 seconds to comply. And like it's,
Oh, come on. We specifically separated ourselves from those water demons in the auras. Oh, well. Okay.
yeah, it doesn't seem, it's either it
Yeah,
read
it
through it or
doesn't
it's
seem to care.
particularly sensitive or something.
Yeah,
What do you do?
I still think that the risk of all of those things waking up
Is
right
worse than
around
this
now
thing?
it might be the bigger problem, because facing 7 at a time is an issue.
Okay.
So I still want to try and turn them off while, if necessary, and probably is dodging whatever this thing is.
Cool. Then let's see that in action. I think this is skirmish.
Or
think-
wreck.
I
No.
think the
Skirmish
main
for Adric.
first, I think Adric would want skirmish. Secondly,
Okay.
I think the main thing is dodging the blows, keeping keep moving. I don't think it's actually hard to turn off the charging stations. I think there's literally just a lever next to each of them.
Oh, so the
Like, it's-
problem is more avoiding getting hit by jellyfish
Very
robots
much so.
than it is like actually wrecking the charging station.
Yeah, exactly. As it's going to try to attack you with its tentacles. Yeah, let's see that in action. I'll describe it more after we do. See how it attacks.
All right. So yeah, I'm just kind of dodging, trying to get to the thing. I guess position and that. This feels desperate. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll take risky.
it
Push it
is.
to desperate.
It is very much desperate.
Trying to do anything other than run away from this thing seems desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are at risk, I will say, for potential level 4 harm before resistance.
Level
Okay.
4, that's just the
Level
dead,
4
dead, dead.
level 4 is dead. Yeah, it might just kill you.
Level 4 is dead, but I do have the
You can-
space for armor, so
Yes.
see,
I'm warning you in
what?
advance. Like, this thing is
Not nice.
not nice, and lots of bladed weapons and things.
Would you
Uh,
say there are blades in the darkness?
I don't know why I was so surprised by that, but yes, that's exactly. Desperate, and I think by default limited. Doing all 7 of them seems difficult.
Okay.
Or 6, actually. You do
let's
half
see.
before.
At least I don't have to
require
worry about
another
those people coming
roll.
back. So limited is about half, and I need some way to push it up
Yeah.
further.
Mhm. You could push yourself for 2 stress to push it up
Yeah.
to standard. And then if you have fine weapons, that could
Well,
get
you're
you
not
to
fighting back. You're just dodging it and doing this. I don't
Yeah,
Oh, you're
actually.
I'm
just
not
dodging
sure
it.
that fine weapons will help in this case.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
parry. You can parry with fine weapons.
That's a
If
good
it's
point.
if it's the right weapon, yeah.
Yeah. Good point, and then I've got that, and I think I have room for that with Hawker's freaking. Oh, that's terrifying. Let's give that a shot. So
That's
yeah, let's bring out
I
that
think you
telescopic
do.
axe and attempt to parry with it, and use the fine to get me up to standard.
Okay.
Well, you want great, right?
Well, it's limited before the fine weapon, so
It's limited
it's
before
limited
the fine
before
weapon,
the
so
fine?
with the fine weapon, it should be
Yeah,
standard.
it was
and
limited
at
before.
least at that point, all of the things should turn off.
yeah.
With standard, yes, you're able to
yeah.
shut
With
down
a
all
6.
of them. With 6, if you get a 6. 4 to 5, you will, but also other stuff.
I'll succeed, but things will happen. Okay,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
still think that's worth it. Any devil's bargains here?
Stabbed anyway.
Um,
Well, if harm's on the line, harm as the devil's bargain.
You're right.
doesn't
You're
really
right. You're
work.
right. You're right. If harm's on the line, I don't know. It splits in 2.
well, level 1 harm on the line could be an option to help you better avoid level 4 harm. It's more like you're taking wounds where it's not critical or things like
I'm
that.
okay with
do the-
not worrying about that. What about
Do these things have like a black box in them where they'll know it was this person?
Oh, of course. Yeah, we could do
So
heat.
Maybe like
how about
Heat?
causing a commotion?
Union is discovered. 1 tick on that.
Yeah.
Loud fight. Cool. There we go.
At this point, we're nearing the end. This seems reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Because my
Except-
plan is to fill up these 2. If your thing doesn't fill up, fight the spirit wardens, then I'm gonna try and fill up retreat and unleash the vial. So
Okay.
Okay. Now let's see how this first turning off the rest goes.
Yes!
Nice.
Okay.
So, this thing,
super soldier to the rescue.
as
Yeah.
unlike the other hull you fought, which fought with it had blades, but it primarily fought with electroplasmic like lightning. This one has no electroplasmic lighting. It has like blades. One of its tentacles shoots forward like almost like it has a ending in a harpoon like hook, and it shoots towards you. You are able to dodge that. There are some that like seem to almost spray chemicals. One of which is like a squid-like cloud of black dust everywhere. I think that's what happens as you shut down the last one. Is it just like sprays this almost blinding dust everywhere, and that hides you. It hides it from you. It's hard to see. There's a bit of glowing, but it's very obscured, and it will be able to see you. But we'll get to that later. Don't worry.
Get to that later. Now for the bird.
Now for the
Bird.
bird.
Does that fill the fight the Spirit Warden's clock or no?
Yes. It doesn't kill all of them, but that very much fulfills your end of the bargain to them.
Or obligation?
Your obligation
Alright.
is fulfilled. The hulls are no longer a problem, most of them.
Can we overfill that clock? Because with a 6, that would have... Oh, standard still.
So
Never mind.
Yep.
that clock specifically is as much as the demons expect from you.
Yeah, this is
You're
fulfilling
welcome
our
to
bargain.
keep killing them more if you want to.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this
Now,
is just
now we're on to impressing the demons.
I think
No, now
I
we're on
think-
to build things for
I think the
revenge.
next roll is just the bird's fortune roll, and we should do what
Yep.
Zade's gonna do after we come back from
I
the
agree.
bird.
Well, I was gonna try and get the retreat clock filled, and then the bird drops the thing. Like, because I was thinking getting up to the roof, and if there's any snipers up there, pushing them off the roof.
Oh, you're gonna counter sniper by bodying the
Okay,
sniper.
that's
off.
fair. And you can prowl. This is of course risky, especially if there's multiple and they like one sees you
Yeah.
push one off the roof.
Well, it's the risk that there's no snipers and they have a different tactic.
This
Yeah.
is the
And Zade's
contractual
just up
obligation.
and Zade's just up on the roof, like, what am I here to do?
Well, if I'm up on the roof, then I just use climbing gear to get down.
Yeah.
I just rappel down to like
But
the
it eats up time and stuff and doesn't help
Yeah.
with anything if there's no one for you to take out up there.
Yes.
So
Actually, that is a good devil's bargain. You have to use, or you will have to use climbing gear to get down
oh yeah, I'll
as
take
as
that.
load.
That's fine. That's my first load of. I'm gonna hawker's rigging that.
Okay.
Sick. All right.
So that's a +1 die, right?
Yep.
Risky standard.
I think limited effect. I think
Okay.
many of the spirit wardens, you tend to scream when you fall off a cliff or any height at all. So just doing like, I don't think there's many you can do without getting attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There's-
risky limited. I'm gonna push it to desperate standard. Oh
Yeah.
no, actually, I'm gonna use my
Your setup
You
My
set up
setup.
an aura so they don't see it coming.
Yeah.
increase effect. Okay.
to make it risky standard.
I could imagine this is just you, like they hear a scream and you use your cover to say you checked on it, and then to get close to the other snipers, you push him over.
I checked on it.
I
He's
got
fine.
it.
I checked on it. He's fine.
Yeah.
And by
Okay.
the third one, they're pointing a gun at you, but it doesn't matter then.
Mhm.
So there's just rats all over the roof. Like they're people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So devil's bargain.
You already took it.
I know. I'm debating just pushing it to desperate great to get that extra die.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's
just
worth
one
every
die.
die. It's
Because
worth
great
every
effect-
die.
What's the consequence of failure for you? I know your harm is weird.
I'm probably shot.
If it
I'll
is
probably get
desperate,
shot.
you'd probably get shot. Like they'll just be like,
so
"Oh
you're
no!"
looking at like level 3 harm, which is only a -1 die for you, right?
Yeah, and I can armor it to make it less effect.
Okay.
Like
Do
I
it.
still have room
Do
for
it.
armor.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make
Desperate.
then
Get
do
that
it.
XP.
I'll make it desperate great. And then make it 2 extra dice. Here we go. 6.
6. Okay. That's
And I get
singular
XP.
6 in many of these rolls, except the beginning. Yep, you get XP, and the your retreat is now covered, or rather,
Yep.
no one is covering.
Uncovered.
Not
It's
covered.
Uncovered.
It is uncovered. No one is going to shoot you when you retreat. Nice. Okay, bird.
Bird
So-
drops the vial.
Okay,
Maybe.
Now, this is not just a fortune roll. This is going to be a roll still using position and defend.
You need to hit a review of one less load if your bird's doing it. Because we decided the vial takes
Yep,
a load.
you gave it. The bile takes a load,
Okay,
so we use a load.
So it doesn't matter anymore for armor because we're getting out pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll see.
well,
We'll see.
I have enough room to get guns. That's all I care about.
Okay.
We'll see.
Wasn't part of the plan loading the place on the way out? So.
1.
Job's not over till we're home. Like,
I'll just put it on
Okay.
here to remind myself.
Let's do that fortune roll. Ready?
now,
Yeah.
1 second. Does the expert hunter thing factor into his fortune roll?
It's 2 dice because it's your tier +1.
Okay. Just making sure we took into account the cohort status of the bird.
Yep.
Cool.
Jordan, when you were ready. 2d6.
So I just
Roll
just
fortune.
2d6.
Roll fortune. There's even a button. You could do.
Yeah, but I think the way it rolls here, it doesn't take into our crew into account because it's
You
on
put-
my sheet.
You just do 2. You change the number of dice.
Yep.
Oh,
2 dice.
let's do that then. Quality.
It has the cooler looking splash card,
Yeah.
and you can name it like Bird Bomb. Or whatever.
5.
Yeah.
On a 5. Okay. So
We'll see what happens after the break. I guess we just
we'll
the
see what
bird.
happens after the break.
Yeah,
We see-
bird drops
As-
it and cut.
I think we cut to black with the shattering glass sound.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back in 5, sometimes 10 minutes.
5 to
pretty
10
relaxed
in that
about it.
range. It's
Yep.
a mystery.
And
Depends on how
then-
many sponsors we have.
yeah.
Time is meaningless.
And
Time at no meaning.
then we'll see how things go. So that's fun.
Yep.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.